Well, after months of volatility, the Naira has finally shown some signs of stability, gaining massively against the US dollar in less than a week. But what's driving this trend, and can it be sustained? Is this a sign of a more fundamental shift in Nigeria's economy, or just a temporary reprieve? Our guest today is Dr. Nia Kisiju, development economist, and Dr. Ayodeji Ebo, which is going to join us from Lagos. And right now we are yet to he's yet to join, but we hope he joins us while we continue our conversation. Well, to make sense of what is actually happening, well, Doctor, you've seen the improvement in the value of the Naira, and would you attribute it to the new CBN platform?
Well, I will, just like many operators in the market, attributing it to the new electronic foreign exchange matching system. And of course, if we underscore the word matching, the implication will come right home to us. What appears to be the main issues in the market would have been the fact of transparency and, of course, the operationalization of transactions. If we have orders, are the orders properly matched in a way that it will provide or avail price discovery? Because all this while, it's as if the issue had been and other forms of currencies, as it were. So now we have a platform that takes the buy and sell orders and match them, without sentiments, without discretions and all that. So it takes volume into consideration. It's the demand higher than the supply. You get the scientifically determined result. Is supply higher than demand? You also get that result. And again, for every opening day, you have the price determined at the end of the day that will determine the opening price for the transaction the following day. So I think to a large extent, this digitally driven price discovery platform had done so much for the Naira. And yes, of course, we also need to consider the fact that there had been a surfeit of foreign exchange supply in the market, either at the level of the IMTOs, International Money Transfer Organization, bringing in more money, more foreign currencies, especially if we're talking about the dollar here. In the last 1 month, in October, we're talking about close to $600 million finding its way into the Nigerian economy. This is a new high, as it were. You also have the dollar-denominated fund, that was raised, $500 denominated bond that was raised.
Doctor, some are actually attributing the development to diasporans coming back for Christmas and oversubscription in the bond market, or is it the combined factor?
Well, I'm not too sure the 2.2 billion euro bond is reflected yet, because between September and October, we're talking about 40 billion already in the foreign exchange, in the foreign reserve. So if we are still, as of this morning, we're talking about $40.8 billion in our foreign reserve. I am yet to see the reflection of that $2.2 billion euro bond raising. So if we have that come into the reserve, I think we should be talking of close to 43 billion or thereabout at this time. Okay. So, but yes, that's where our remittance is good, and it also forms part of the $600 million we're talking about, the international money to transfer. You also had, of course, the huge inflow of foreign investors, coming into the capital market. That again had been very impressive, either at the level of the money markets or even at the level of the the equity market. So I think everything is working for good, at this time for Nigeria and for the Naira especially.
Okay, let me bring Dr. Ayodeji Ebo to the conversation. The Naira gained 120 Naira to a dollar in less than a week after FM's was launched. What are the primary drivers of this appreciation, Mr. Dr. Abel? Rather?
Okay, thank you for having me. And I think the first thing, if we look at the trend, is based on the news around the introduction of the new IFM window, which is which will establish transparency in terms of demand and supply. And on the back of that, we also observed that there were also speculative panic sell in the market. And all those news, so you would observe that even for today, it has already switched direction. So you would see that when some also news around the $2 billion, which we know even based on the utilization of the FX, if that is already in, it takes less than a month to use the $2 billion. So I think by and large, it's the news around the new window that has been created, around the buy and sell within the official window, and also giving access to the BDCs to also participate within that market. So I don't think when you look at the direction, already said, it's not sustainable, given that there are a lot of more structural issues that can assist in creating a bit of balance and inflow of FX.
Why do you feel that it's not sustainable?
Okay, my reason is, first of all, we need to increase the FX supply into the market. Secondly, oil exports is not sustainable. So if we can have oil export can help us in the short term, but we need to develop and deepen our non-oil exports. And when you also look at the demand that comes during the FAC allocation, which is not even for the productive sector, you would also agree with me that the utilization of the FX for non-productive area is still very high. So there's been no policy currently discouraging that particular segment of the market. And however, I think that the new system that has been created around the FX in the official window will create stability. We saw after 4 days or 5 days of stability around the importer and exporters window, that's at the NAFEM window, we saw appreciation. We saw the official window react to that particular news, or also react to that particular platform that have just been introduced. So by and large, we think that while this new platform is a positive development, creating transparency, stability, and will create stability, the sudden appreciation is what I say it's not sustainable in the market, because it's not driven by structural issues, or maybe structural inflows that will create an increased supply around our FX.
Your thoughts?
I think talking structurally, a major consideration, as Ebo noted, it's the production threshold for crude oil and crude oil production and exports. I, on the other hand, believe that there have been a lot of efforts to boost crude oil production in terms of quantity. And to that extent, I think the government, if you have been following the activities and the focus of the government in that area, I've seen over a period of 6 months now a consistent increase in the production quantity for crude oil. So to a large extent, at present we're talking about 1.8 million barrels of crude oil, and that is inclusive of condensate. If we have that, and going forward, I think the target for 2025 in the budget, it's 2.05 million. Is it possible to attain that that threshold of production? I think it is. If there had been these efforts had been accomplished 1.8 million barrels. So if we are able to hit 2 million 0.05 or more by January, February, I think that will also engender a better channel of inflow, of dollar inflow from
But do you
our
see this
exports.
coming into fusion to sustain, well, the gain we are seeing in the FX market?
Yeah, but I think it would, because now you're looking at an additional 200,000 plus. And there is a system correction, and of course attitudinal correction going on in that sector of the economy, which is very important for us, especially in the area of foreign exchange management. So if we are able to do that, I think it would impact, of course, the inflow. And I think Ebo is in the right place, in the right position to talk about this. There has been a lot of news, cheering news for some of us who are perhaps borderline participants in the capital market, of how there is a resurgence, of foreign inflows through the portfolio investors. I think, well, that could be a temporary thing. It's not usually what you also want to trust or depend on, given the flight tendency of portfolio investors. But the fact that you have this inflow coming in would also, of course, supplement what we have in the market. Yes, the truth of the matter is liquidity. Foreign currency liquidity is important in determining, of course, the value of the Naira, of the exchange. Well, again, if we look at the benchmark, benchmark transaction value in exchange as proposed in the budget, upcoming budget, 2025 budget, at 1,400. If we are able to sustain this appreciation, as it were, to get to 1,400, it means, of course, we would have aligned, with the vision and the objective of the 2025 budget in terms of the value of the Naira to the dollar.
Okay, Dr. Igbo, the power market rate remains close to the official market rate. Does this indicate a convergence, or are there risk or divergence in the future?
Okay, thank you very much. And I think we're already seeing a convergence, which is positive for the market. So that will reduce speculation. So you would, as the more it thins out, it reduces speculations. And what we're also seeing is demand shift. So for the BDC to be able to participate in this new window, which is the IFM window, it means that what the BDCs should, instead of depending only to access dollars from the CBN on a weekly basis, they are also able to buy at the official market within that window, subject to the limits that they are allowed to trade in. So some of these things would, as you see that demand shift, then we'll begin to also see reduced pressure within the unofficial market, which is positive for the FX. So like Dr. has said, you would see that it's what would sustain it. It is supply. So no matter the analysis that we do around the valuation, what the support should be, it is consistent supply. And what we look at hand is, does the CBN have the ability to sustain supply? I would say no. It has improved from where we used to, when we're coming from, getting dollars from several sources. Remittances have improved, foreign portfolio investors have improved, but the demand is still increasing. So there's a need for that supply to increase significantly. And as that improves, that will also create a bit of confidence in the Naira. So when we look at it from the investment perspective, you see a lot of investors trying to hedge against the dollar for investment. So this is not for trading or for speculating, because of a bit of loss of confidence on the direction or the potential depreciation of the Naira. You still see that pressure that investors try to invest or convert Naira to dollar denominated, to invest in dollar denominated assets. So these are some of the pressure points that we may also continue to see. But it's going to be positive if we're able to achieve that level of supply to create a bit of stability in our Naira. It's really positive because we are import dependent, and any depreciation in the Naira affects everything in terms of cost of production, cost of services in the country.
Dr. Kisiju, just a sentence, your closing thoughts.
Oh, well, I am hopeful because I think where we are, where we got to now, it's as a result of conceptualization and deployment of a number of policies. We just didn't get here. Even to adopt the Bloomberg matching system, matching platform, it's a process. So I believe that the CBN has been at work and will continue to be at work. And you don't also get to a juncture like this and feel despondent. At a point in time, investors might have felt despondent, especially when you see the rapid depreciation of the Naira, vis-a-vis other currencies. Okay. So the hope is that the CBN will continue to work hard. The fiscal side, the fiscal side of the bargain will also continue to work hard to ensure that there's bigger flow, more convenient flow of a dollar or other foreign currencies into the markets.
Okay, I'm afraid we have to leave it there. Thank you very much, Dr. Naira Kisiju and Dr. Ayodeji Abel. It's been a pleasure having you sharing your thoughts with us.
Pleasure, man. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.